Such a privilege to be with you all, different parts of the world, faithful brothers and sisters. It is an honor to be with you. I just want to draw your attention to some really significant opportunities. I serve as a senior digital strategist with Crew and also a co-founder of Indigenous, and I'll share more about that. But one of the key things that we've been excited to partner with Go Movement, and actually since last year, Go 2020, is in this arena of digital outreach. And many of you know that with the pandemic that spread across the globe, there are a lot of, we need to think of many more creative ways to connect with people. And not to mention just because, and it's not just because of the pandemic, but this is the space where people are. And missions is about going where people are. And they are on these, 6-inch piece of glass here on their devices and in the social networks. And we have to find ways to reach them. On these pages, you see a link here. You're welcome to type it in. I know some of you are watching on social media, but I also put it in the Zoom chat so that you can follow along. Then you can see some of the resources that we have mentioned. Well, in case some of you are wondering, so who is Indigenous and what are we all about, right? We are really a movement, a network movement spread across the globe that wants to engage and unleash believers and the global church into digital missions. And it does it in a couple of ways, but primarily it is helping people see that they have a significant digital presence and also they have digital talents. How do you bring that together for the mission? So there's a video that I won't get to show you because of time, and I want to make sure that you guys get to hear more updates. But I put the link in the chat and you can watch it on your own. But it just gives you a broader scope of what Indigenous really exists to do. And it's spread across all continents, and there are local movements that are empowering the church to learn to use digital presence and digital tools for the kingdom. One of the things that we've been excited this particular Go Month is to participate and get people to think of digital ways to connect. So you see here on your screen just a few snapshots of like 31 days of ideas and what you can do to participate in Go Month. A lot of our lives are spent on our devices, and we can use that to connect, to share a little clip, to ask people what they think about something you've posted, and so on. So again, you can go to the link there. I put it in the chat as well, that it describes the partnership and all the resources that we've mentioned, right? So last year specifically, we already had done a series of training, and we realized that a lot of the body of Christ, sometimes I need to figure out how to get engaged in digital, but I don't know where to start. So by the way, these dates are from last year, so don't go to those. But it's a screenshot to show you how you can be engaging in digital tools, including hosting a digital outreach. This year, we emphasize once again this idea of using an app to be in community and getting people to encourage one another. We realize that a lot of times just by ourselves is really challenging. So one of the apps that I want to bring to your attention is called the Mission Hub app. And you can see the link here in the chat also. But what it does is that it allows you to do this process of relate, pray, care, and share. You can create faith actions. For example, maybe I want to take a neighbor for a meal. I want to ask them what they think about God, what's their view of God. And these are faith actions that in community you can encourage one another. I'll show you an image of what is going on in this past month. But here is we want to ask people, is there a way that we can challenge one another? And you can identify these people, whether they are just beginning in their faith or they may be a non-Christian. And the app actually suggests questions, or rather actions for you to consider. So this is something that is really cool. I want to encourage you to check it out in that link there, ndgt.us/MH, stands for Mission Hub. You go there and you will find out more about this, including a training to figure out how you can use this app, right? But here, just this past month, we've had about 82 members interacting here from across the globe. Many more did not join this specific community, but I want to highlight to you this gal called Yemisi. She has been really active, and every so often, this was just in May 13 last week, she shared her story of what she's trusting God for. And then on the right here, you see another person called Raz. The previous day, he was just nervous about sharing this evangelistic video. And then now the friend wrote back, again, thanks for sharing. I saw this video clip with my wife and my child. I'm very interested to have my child learn about these things and form his own mind. And this was a very intellectual person, so he thought it might not get any impact, but this person really responded and opened up to share to Russ. Yeah. So this is just an idea of how you can, the app allows you to connect with each other. And one other thing that we did during Go Month was also training the trainers to do what we call a digital day of outreach. I think May 29th is Go Day. Many of us will be out there, maybe sharing or in rallies or different types of events, but many others may not have the privilege to go out, but they can connect with their friends on social media. And so the digital day of outreach is to equip you to do that. Some of you are from Asia, and you may recognize these faces as Filipinos, but they're actually based in the US. We have already had about 130 people, 130 or so have been connected, 29 countries, but we've got excellent reviews on the training they've been receiving. So we have one more next Saturday. If you like, you can find out more info. The link is there. I'll put it here as well. Train the trainers, so you can check it out. Oh, sorry. I should put there trainers. Okay, there you go. All right. So, and finally, I just want to once again reiterate, right? We are not talking about digital for the sake of digital, right? Technology is there to serve us, and we need to leverage it as the best we can. But at the heart of it is about making disciples and about bringing the unchanging gospel, the message of hope, the message of life, and bring it to our ever-changing world. They need to hear it in fresh ways and relevant to them and connected. So this is something that Indigenous truly believes in, and I know no matter what settings you are, we are all somehow connected digitally. And so I want to encourage you to go check out the site and see if there might be something that might be helpful to you, the resources, and then figure out if there are ways you can mobilize your young people or even not so young people into digital outreach. So once again, I thank you for listening and for Bayat's hard work and the team for tremendous stuff that you're doing around the world. And for those of you on this call and watching, God is truly at work, and what a privilege that you and I get to play a part in His grand plan. So thanks so much.
Amen. So true. Maybe just very briefly, what's the meaning of Indigenous? It's two words put together, right?
I'm glad you asked that. Well, the word Indigenous comes from two words, indigenous and digital, right? So we recognize that across cultures, across languages and continents, we may have a different way to flesh out, connecting with people. But digital holds us together. Digital is the common piece. And so one of the reasons why we said, that there are movements locally is because they think of creative ways. Some, like in Ethiopia, they're coming up with chatbots that allow people to connect with Christ. They know that works for them in Telegram, but that not so for China, right? And not so for North America. And they need to come up with their own ideas to do that. Yeah. Great question.